Our planet is in a constant state of motion. It spins on its axis and orbits the sun, a celestial dance that gives us day and night, and something even more profound, the seasons. This ever-repeating cycle of spring, summer, autumn, and winter is the great metronome of life on Earth. It dictates the rhythm by which all living things must exist. For the animal kingdom, this is not merely a change in the weather, it is a fundamental force that shapes every aspect of their lives, from the moment of their birth to the struggle for survival and the drive to create the next generation. Each season presents a unique set of challenges and opportunities, a test of endurance and ingenuity. To survive, animals have developed an astonishing array of adaptations. They are masters of timing, their internal clocks perfectly synchronized with the turning of the earth. They know when to migrate over vast distances, when to seek shelter and enter a deep sleep, and when to bring new life into a world that is ready to receive it. This is a story of resilience, a testament to the power of evolution. From the frozen poles to the scorching deserts, every creature is engaged in a continuous effort to navigate the demands of the changing seasons. Their strategies are as varied and as wonderful as the animals themselves, a vibrant tapestry of existence woven across the globe. The transition from one season to the next is a powerful trigger for behavior. The first warmth of spring can awaken a hibernating bear, coaxing it from its den as the snow recedes and the forest floor is revealed, scattered with the remnants of last autumn's bounty. For the monarch butterfly, the gentle rise in temperature and the blossoming of wildflowers signal the start of an epic migration as millions take to the air, tracing invisible paths across continents in search of nectar and breeding grounds. In the woodlands, squirrels and chipmunks, guided by the fading light of autumn, scurry to collect and conceal seeds and nuts, ensuring their survival through the long, lean months ahead. As winter's grip tightens, herds of caribou traverse vast, snow-laden expanses, their hooves adapted to break through crusted drifts in search of lichen hidden beneath the ice. These responses are not conscious choices, but the result of finely tuned instincts, each behavior etched into the fabric of their being by countless generations. Ancient migratory routes are followed with unwavering precision, as mothers guide their young along paths worn by the footsteps of ancestors, teaching them the secrets of survival. Across the globe, the cycle of the seasons brings forth spectacles of endurance and drama, wildebeest braving crocodile-infested rivers, salmon leaping against the current to spawn, and birds fiercely defending nesting territories. Amidst these trials, moments of tenderness emerge. Lionesses grooming their cubs beneath the shade of acacia trees, penguins nurturing chicks against the Antarctic chill, and elephant calves learning the language of the herd. In the world's deserts, creatures like the fennec fox and sand lizard employ remarkable strategies to endure the relentless heat, seeking shelter beneath the sand or venturing out only in the cool of dawn and dusk. In the polar regions, the Arctic fox's coat transforms to pure white, blending seamlessly with the snow, while polar bears roam the frozen sea in search of seals, and penguins huddle together for warmth against the biting wind. Each season unfolds a new chapter, transforming landscapes and reshaping the lives of every creature that calls them home. The story of life is written in these moments of struggle and triumph. In the ingenious ways animals adapt, endure, and flourish amid ever-changing conditions. Let us now explore this remarkable journey, season by season, through the eyes of the animals themselves, as nature's eternal rhythm continues to shape the wild world. Spring arrives as a gentle promise, a wave of warmth and light that washes over the recovering landscape. After the long, cold silence of winter, the world stirs. Ice melts, the ground thaws, and the first green shoots push their way towards the sun. For the animal kingdom, this is a time of renewal and immense opportunity. Food, which was once scarce, becomes abundant again. It is the season of birth, of new beginnings, and of elaborate rituals designed to continue the chain of life. Animals that have been hidden away in slumber emerge, blinking in the strengthening sun, driven by an urgent need to eat and to find a mate. In the freshwater lakes of North America, a remarkable courtship display begins. Clark's grebes, elegant birds that have spent the winter apart on the Pacific coast, reunite to breed. To re-establish their bond, they perform a beautiful and intricate dance. They mirror each other's movements, preening their feathers in perfect synchrony. The male may offer the female a gift, a freshly caught fish, as a sign of his commitment. The culmination of their ritual is a breathtaking spectacle. They run side by side across the surface of the water, a feat of coordination and strength that solidifies their partnership for the demanding task of raising a family. Elsewhere, in the savannas of South America, a mother coati leads her brand-new family on their first exploration. The tiny pups, curious but vulnerable, must learn a crucial lesson: stay close to their mother's tail. Her upright tail acts as a beacon, guiding them through the tall grasses and keeping the family together. The world is full of new sights and sounds, but also full of dangers. A watchful savanna hawk circling overhead is a constant threat. The mother's sharp cry sends the pups scurrying for the safety of the forest, a stark reminder that in the midst of spring's abundance, survival is a lesson that must be learned quickly. From the elaborate dances of birds to the first tentative steps of a newborn mammal, spring is a season defined by the drive to reproduce. In the forests of Finland, male black grouse gather at traditional sites called leks for an intense dance-off. They puff out their chests, fan their tail feathers, and challenge one another in a contest of stamina and display. The females watch from the sidelines, and in the end, only the most impressive male will win the right to mate. His strength and vitality will be passed on, ensuring the next generation is as strong and as resilient as his own, ready to face the turning of the seasons anew. As spring's warmth spreads across North America, it triggers one of nature's most magical events. In the high-altitude forests of Mexico's Sierra Madre Mountains, millions upon millions of monarch butterflies have spent the winter huddled together. They cling to the oyamel fir trees in such vast numbers that their collective weight bends the branches, blanketing the forest in a tapestry of orange and black. They are waiting for a very specific signal. When the air temperature rises above 13 degrees Celsius, the Great Awakening begins. It is time for them to embark on one of the most extraordinary migrations on the planet. With a whisper that grows into a roar, they take to the air. Over 100 million butterflies fill the sky, a swirling, shimmering cloud of life. This is the largest gathering of butterflies anywhere in the world, a truly awe-inspiring spectacle. Before they begin their long journey north, they must drink. They descend upon streams and puddles, sipping the moisture they need to fuel their flight muscles. Warmed by the sun and replenished with water, they are ready. Their destination lies thousands of kilometers away, in the fields and meadows of Canada, a journey that will take several weeks to complete. This incredible migration is not just a random flight. It is a precisely timed mission, intrinsically linked to the life cycle of another species. The monarchs are flying north to find milkweed. This humble plant is the only thing their caterpillars can eat, and the butterfly's journey is synchronized perfectly with the blooming of milkweed across the continent. As they travel, this first generation will mate and lay its eggs on the newly sprouted plants. These eggs will hatch, the caterpillars will feast, and a new generation of butterflies will be born to continue the journey northwards. It is a multi-generational relay race against time. No single butterfly completes the entire round trip. It takes 3 or 4 successive generations to reach the northernmost breeding grounds in Canada. Each generation lives for only a few weeks, driven by the instinct to fly north and lay the eggs that will produce the next wave of travelers. Then, in the autumn, a final supergeneration will be born. These butterflies will not mate, but will instead make the entire 5,000-kilometer journey all the way back to those same forests in Mexico to wait out the winter and begin the cycle all over again. Summer arrives with long days and intense, life-giving sunlight. For many creatures, it is a time of plenty, a season of growth and raising young in a world overflowing with food. Yet in the southern reaches of our planet, the sun's power can become overwhelming, and survival depends on ingenious ways to keep cool. In the deserts of the Middle East, the midday sun is a formidable adversary. The sand can reach temperatures of 70 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook any creature that lingers for too long. Most animals retreat into the shade or deep into burrows, waiting for the relative cool of the evening. In these harsh environments, mammals like the fennec fox rely on their oversized ears, which radiate excess heat away from their bodies. During the hottest hours, they rest in cool underground dens, emerging only at dusk when the air is gentler. But one creature has evolved to do the opposite. This is the home of the Saharan silver ant. These remarkable insects are masters of the extreme with a suite of adaptations to survive in this furnace. Their legs are unusually long, lifting their bodies higher off the scorching sand. Their bodies are covered in a dense coat of uniquely shaped hairs, acting as a heat shield that reflects the sun's rays and helps the ant stay cool. This allows them to venture out into the midday sun, a time when all their predators are forced to take cover. They are scavengers, searching for the corpses of less fortunate insects that have succumbed to the heat. Their strategy is a high-stakes gamble. Despite their adaptations, they are living on a knife's edge. They can only survive in the searing heat for about 10 minutes before their own body temperature reaches a fatal 53 degrees Celsius. They must be fast. In fact, they are the fastest ants on Earth, their long legs carrying them across the sand at blistering speeds. They navigate using the sun's position, allowing them to dash out from their nest, find food, and calculate the shortest possible route back to safety before their time runs out. It is a frantic race against the clock, played out every day under the relentless desert sun. Elsewhere in southern climates, animals have developed their own unique methods to beat the heat. In the Australian outback, red kangaroos lick their forearms, coating them with saliva that evaporates and cools the blood, flowing just beneath the skin. They seek shade beneath sparse trees, resting motionless through the hottest hours. Birds, too, have their strategies. The African hoopoe fans its wings and pants rapidly, expelling heat through its open beak. Some species, like the sand grouse, soak their belly feathers in distant water holes, then fly back to their chicks, who drink the precious droplets from their parents' plumage. Even reptiles, masters of thermoregulation, must be cautious. The bearded dragon flattens its body against cool rocks at dawn, absorbing just enough warmth before retreating to shaded crevices as the day intensifies. In the wetlands of the southern United States, alligators open their mouths wide, a behavior called gaping, to release excess heat while remaining half submerged in water to keep their bodies cool. This struggle for survival in the heat is not limited to the desert floor. In the rugged deserts of eastern Israel, late summer is the time for the Nubian ibex to compete for mates. The males, with their enormous, curved horns, engage in fierce battles for dominance. For weeks, they will barely eat, focusing all their energy on fighting. The strongest, most experienced male will win the right to mate with all the females in the herd. This timing is crucial. The females must become pregnant in the late summer so that their young will be born the following spring, when the desert is at its greenest and food is most plentiful, giving the next generation the best possible start in life. While the northern hemisphere bakes in the summer sun, the forest is alive with activity, as animals sense the subtle shift in the air that signals the coming change of seasons. Among the most industrious of these creatures are the bears, whose entire year revolves around the need to prepare for the long, harsh winter ahead. As summer wanes, bears intensify their search for food, scouring the forest floor for roots, tubers, and insects hidden beneath the soil and decaying wood. Berry patches become hot spots of activity, with bears consuming vast quantities of ripe fruit to build up fat reserves essential for survival during hibernation. In regions where rivers teem with spawning salmon, bears demonstrate remarkable fishing skills, snatching fish from the water with swift, practiced movements. Each successful catch provides a rich source of protein and fat, further fueling the bear's rapid weight gain. Mother bears led their cubs through these seasonal routines, teaching them where to find the best feeding grounds and how to forage efficiently. Occasionally, bears will risk the sting of bees to raid hives for honey and larvae, both valuable sources of energy. Between feeding bouts, bears groom their thick fur and scratch against trees, helping to remove parasites and maintain healthy coats for the cold months ahead. As autumn approaches, bears begin searching for suitable den sites, inspecting hollow logs, dense thickets, or caves that will offer shelter from winter's chill. They may dig into hillsides or expand existing burrows, lining their dens with leaves, moss and branches to create a warm, insulated nest. As daylight hours shorten and temperatures drop, bears gradually reduce their activity, conserving energy and spending more time resting near their chosen dens. Their bodies undergo remarkable changes. Fur grows denser, and layers of fat accumulate beneath the skin, providing both insulation and a vital energy reserve. Instinct drives them to eat almost constantly, a phase known as hyperphagia, as the forest transforms with the colors of autumn. When the first snows fall and food becomes scarce, the bear finally retreats into its den, ready to enter a state of deep torpor that will last for months. Inside, the bear's heart rate and metabolism slow dramatically, allowing it to survive without eating or drinking until spring's return. For mothers with cubs, the den becomes a nursery, where tiny, vulnerable newborns are kept safe and warm until they are strong enough to face the world outside. When the thaw finally arrives, bears emerge lean but alive, ready to begin the cycle anew, testament to their remarkable adaptations for surviving the changing seasons. As summer fades, the days grow shorter and a chill returns to the air. Autumn is a season of spectacular transformation, painting the landscape in hues of gold, red, and brown. For many animals, it is a time of urgent preparation. Winter is coming, and with it, a period of scarcity and hardship. In the wilds of southern Alaska, this urgency is felt perhaps more keenly than anywhere else. For the grizzly bears of this region, autumn means one thing: the feast. They must consume an enormous amount of food to build up the fat reserves necessary to survive their long winter hibernation. The autumn rains swell the rivers, and this triggers another of nature's great migrations. Millions of Pacific salmon, driven by an ancient instinct, begin their arduous journey inland. They fight their way upstream, returning to the very same gravel beds where they were born, to spawn and then die. This incredible influx of life provides a crucial, high-energy food source for the bears. They gather at key points along the rivers, especially at bottlenecks like waterfalls, where the fish are forced to leap from the water, making them vulnerable targets. It is a time of intense activity and competition. The best fishing spots are fiercely contested. The largest and most dominant male bears claim the prime locations, fighting off any rivals that dare to challenge them. A big male can stand in the same spot for hours, catching fish after fish with astonishing skill. He might use his paws to pin a salmon to the riverbed, or snatch one right out of the air as it leaps up the falls. The goal is to eat as much as possible, as quickly as possible. A successful bear can catch and consume up to 30 salmon a day, a diet rich in fat and protein that is perfect for packing on the pounds. Over the course of a few weeks, these bears must increase their body weight by more than 50%. This is not about greed, it is a matter of life and death. The fat they accumulate will be their only source of energy during the long months of winter when they will be asleep in their dens, their heart rate and metabolism slowing to a crawl. The autumn salmon run is the engine that powers their survival. It is a dramatic and vital link in the ecosystem, a transfer of energy from the ocean to the forest, with the great grizzly bear standing at its heart, preparing for the deep sleep to come. While the great bears feast on salmon, another much smaller creature is engaged in its own frantic autumn race against time. In the forests of North America, the chipmunk knows that winter is on its way. For this tiny rodent, there is no great migration and no deep hibernation in the same way a bear experiences it. Instead, survival depends on foresight and hard work. The chipmunk must gather and stockpile enough food to last through the long, cold months when the forest floor will be barren and covered in snow. The currency of its survival is the acorn. A single chipmunk needs to gather at least 100 acorns to have a chance of making it through the winter. This is a monumental task for such a small animal. It scurries through the autumn leaves, its senses on high alert for the precious nuts that have fallen from the oak trees. Its secret weapon is its expandable cheek pouches. It can stuff an incredible number of acorns, sometimes up to 6 at once, into its mouth, its cheeks bulging to an almost comical size. Once its pouches are full, it dashes back to its secret storeroom, an underground burrow carefully excavated for this very purpose. The burrow is its lifeline, a pantry that must remain well stocked and, most importantly, well hidden. But the chipmunk is not the only one who knows the value of a hoard of acorns. Other chipmunks are always watching, ready to take advantage of a neighbor's hard work. The threat of theft is constant. Upon returning to its burrow to deposit its latest haul, our chipmunk might make a devastating discovery. Its store has been raided. The precious nuts it worked so hard to collect are gone. A furious chase ensues as the rightful owner tries to drive away the thief. This is a world of constant vigilance and relentless effort. After chasing off the intruder, there is no time to rest. The chipmunk must immediately resume its work, racing to replenish its depleted larder before the first snows fall. Every acorn counts. The shortening days and the crisp autumn air are a constant reminder that time is running out. The chipmunk's frantic activity is a perfect example of the individual's struggle for survival that plays out across the natural world as autumn draws to a close, a desperate and determined effort to prepare for the lean times ahead. Winter arrives, transforming the world into a place of stark beauty and profound challenge. The vibrant colours of autumn give way to a monochrome landscape of white snow and dark, bare trees. For many animals, this is the season of greatest hardship. Food is scarce, water is frozen, and the cold is a relentless enemy that drains precious energy. Survival depends on enduring these harsh conditions, and animals have evolved remarkable strategies to cope. Some enter a state of suspended animation, while others must face the brutal reality of the winter world head-on. In the vast frozen expanse of Antarctica, the sea freezes over, creating a solid sheet of ice that extends for hundreds of kilometers. For the Weddell seal, which lives here year-round, this ice presents a critical problem. As an air-breathing mammal, it must maintain access to the surface. It uses its strong teeth to grind away at the ice, keeping a breathing hole open. This constant maintenance wears down its teeth over time, but it is essential for survival. The ice, however, also provides a refuge. The water beneath it remains at a constant -2 degrees Celsius, which is more than 50 degrees warmer than the air temperature on the surface, providing a stable, protected world in which to hunt. Far to the north, on the Canadian tundra, winter is the season of mating for the mighty caribou. Massive bulls, their antlers fully grown, compete for the right to breed. The cold air is filled with the sound of clashing antlers as rivals engage in powerful shoving matches. An older, larger bull must use his size and experience to defend his group of females from younger, more agile challengers. These fights can be dangerous, but they are necessary to establish dominance. The timing of this winter rut is precise, ensuring that the calves will be born in the early spring, just as the tundra begins to green, providing the new mothers with the nutrition they need to produce milk. Underneath the Antarctic ice, a strange and deadly phenomenon can occur. When the surface air temperature plummets, it can trigger the formation of a brinicle. This is a descending plume of supercooled, intensely salty water, denser than the water around it. It sinks towards the seabed like an icy finger of death. As it touches the ocean floor, it instantly freezes everything in its path. Slow-moving creatures like starfish and sea urchins are caught unawares, encased in a tomb of ice. It is a stark and chilling reminder of the raw, unforgiving power of winter in the polar regions, a force that can extinguish life as quickly as it creates it. Yet even in the depths of winter, the cycle of life continues. The snowshoe hare, once brown, now wears a coat of pure white, blending seamlessly into the snow to evade predators like the lynx, whose large padded paws allow it to move silently across the drifts. Above, a great grey owl waits patiently, its keen hearing attuned to the faintest rustle beneath the snow, ready to strike at a hidden vole. Flocks of ptarmigan forage for buds and twigs, their feathers thick and white for insulation and camouflage. When startled, they burst into flight, scattering across the landscape in a flurry of wings, only to settle again where food is found. The red fox, ever resourceful, listens intently for the movements of mice tunneling beneath the snow. With a sudden leap, it dives head first, breaking through the crust to snatch its hidden prey, a testament to the ingenuity required to survive. Along icy rivers, otters remain active, their thick fur and high metabolism keeping them warm. They slide playfully across the ice, dive into frigid waters to fish, and huddle together for warmth in their dens, demonstrating the importance of social bonds in the coldest months. In the skies, flocks of starlings gather in mesmerizing murmurations, twisting and turning above the snowy fields before settling to roost in dense clusters, sharing body heat through the long, cold night. Beneath the ice of frozen ponds, beavers remain active in their lodges, venturing out through underwater entrances to retrieve branches stored in the mud. Their lodges, expertly constructed, provide shelter and warmth, a testament to the power of preparation and cooperation. Wolf packs traverse the snowy forests, relying on teamwork and endurance to track and bring down prey. After a successful hunt, the pack gathers to share the meal, reinforcing social bonds that are vital for survival in such a demanding environment. In hidden caves, bats hang in clusters, their bodies slowed to a near standstill in torpor. Here, they wait out the winter, conserving energy until the return of insects signals the coming of spring. Even beneath the ice, life persists. Fish gather in the cold, oxygen-rich waters, moving slowly to conserve energy. Aquatic plants, though dormant, provide shelter and food for invertebrates, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. As the days gradually lengthen, the first hints of change appear. Sunlight grows stronger, icicles begin to drip, and the snow softens, signaling the slow but inevitable return of warmth and renewal. Buds swell on the branches, early flowers push through the melting snow, and the first migrating birds return, their calls heralding the end of winter's reign. Insects emerge from their winter shelters, butterflies alight on the first blossoms, and frogs stir at the edges of thawing ponds, each life form playing its part in the ongoing cycle. The forest awakens, animals venture forth, and the landscape transforms once more. Proof that even after the harshest winter, life endures, adapts and flourishes, continuing the endless journey through nature's ever-changing seasons. Beneath the dazzling white expanse of winter, a secret world stirs. Here, between the frozen crust and the earth below, lies the subnivean zone, a hidden network that teems with life, even as the surface freezes in silence. In this insulated realm, the snow acts as both shield and shelter, trapping warmth and muffling the sounds of the world above. Voles, shrews, and mice scurry through narrow tunnels, tracing paths from burrow to food cache, their movements invisible to predators overhead. They nibble on seeds, roots, and bark, surviving on stores gathered before the first snowfall. The constant activity beneath the snow's surface leaves a faint pattern, tiny footprints and winding passageways, only revealed when the thaw finally arrives. Above, the keen eyes of a snowy owl scan the landscape, searching for the slightest hint of movement. With a sudden dive, it plunges through the snow, talons extended, aiming for the creatures below. Yet for every successful strike, many more escape, protected by the labyrinthine maze of their sub-Nivean world. Elsewhere, the stoat, its coat now pure white, slips silently into these tunnels, becoming both hunter and ghost. Agile and relentless, it pursues its prey in the darkness, its slender body perfectly adapted to the tight confines. The chase is swift and silent, a testament to the fine balance between predator and prey. Even plants play their part. The roots of grasses and shrubs, insulated by the snow, continue to draw nutrients from the soil, sustaining the herbivores that depend on them. Fungi and microbes break down organic matter, recycling nutrients and supporting the web of life hidden from the winter's harsh glare. In this unseen world, survival is a constant game of adaptation. The snow insulates, but it also isolates. A sudden thaw or a heavy crust of ice can spell disaster, cutting off access to food or trapping vulnerable creatures. Yet, year after year, countless lives are played out in this fragile space, each one a vital thread in the fabric of the ecosystem. As spring approaches, the snow softens and the tunnels collapse, revealing the traces of a season spent in darkness. The animals emerge, blinking in the new light, ready to greet the world above. The hidden world beneath the snow dissolves, but its lessons of resilience and adaptation endure, shaping the lives of those who call this place home. With the gentle unfurling of spring's first blossoms, a silent signal is sent across the wild. Beneath the forest canopy, carpets of wildflowers awaken, their petals opening to the sun's renewed warmth, inviting pollinators to begin their ancient rituals. As the seasons turn, the world transforms. The deep freeze of winter descends, blanketing the land in silence and snow, forcing every creature to adapt or retreat. Across continents, the relentless cycle of the seasons orchestrates the rhythm of life. From the lush green of spring to the stark white of winter, every animal's fate is intertwined with these changes. The monarch butterfly, delicate yet determined, emerges from its chrysalis. Its wings, painted in vibrant orange and black, catch the breeze as it prepares for a journey that will span entire countries. Driven by instinct, monarchs gather in shimmering clouds, embarking on a migration of thousands of kilometers. Their path is mapped by the blooming of milkweed, a lifeline that guides them across vast landscapes. Each landing is a triumph, a moment of survival in a journey fraught with peril. Storms, predators, and exhaustion threaten at every turn, yet the monarch presses on, tethered to the pulse of the seasons. In the rushing rivers of the north, the grizzly bear emerges from hibernation, muscles rippling beneath thick fur. It stands poised, waiting for the salmon run, a fleeting window of abundance. Meanwhile, the chipmunk scurries through the undergrowth, cheeks bulging with seeds and nuts. Every trip is a race against time, as it gathers a winter's worth of food before the cold sets in. Deep within its burrow, the chipmunk carefully stores its treasures, layering seeds beneath the earth. Above, autumn leaves swirl, signaling the approach of scarcity. In the heart of the desert, summer's heat shimmers across the sand. Life here is a test of endurance, where only the most resilient survive the relentless sun. The silver ant, armored in reflective hairs, braves the scorching surface. It dashes across the sand, searching for food in the brief window before the heat becomes lethal. Far to the south, on the frozen Antarctic ice, a king penguin chick huddles among a sea of feathers. Protected by the warmth of its colony, it endures the biting winds and endless night. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, is bound to the land and sky, performing a unique dance with the ever-changing environment. Adaptation is the key to survival. Some creatures change their coats, others alter their diets, and many migrate vast distances, all in response to the shifting world around them. The struggle for survival is constant. Predators stalk the shadows, while prey animals remain ever vigilant, each encounter a test of skill and instinct. On tranquil lakes, Clark's grebes perform a mesmerizing courtship dance, their synchronized movements a delicate balance of attraction and competition. High on rocky cliffs, Nubian ibex males clash in fierce battles, horns locking in displays of strength that determine the future of their lineage. In the open moorlands, black grouse gather at dawn, their flamboyant displays and thunderous calls echoing across the landscape as they vie for dominance. The drive to reproduce shapes every action. Parents nurture their young with unwavering devotion, teaching them the skills needed to survive in a world of constant change. From feeding to protection, every gesture ensures that the next generation is prepared to face the challenges ahead. The strategies for survival are as diverse as the creatures themselves. The male Darwin's beetle, with its formidable jaws, lifts a rival or even a mate from the branch, shaping the future of its species through strength and cunning. On the forest floor, eggs are laid in hidden crevices, each one a fragile promise of new life, vulnerable to the whims of weather and the hunger of predators. A mother coati, tail held high, leads her pups through tangled undergrowth, teaching them to forage and avoid danger in a world filled with uncertainty. Every behavior, honed by countless generations, is a masterpiece of evolution. Each adaptation, a solution to the puzzle of survival. Some animals wield tools, others camouflage themselves, and many cooperate in complex social groups, all to overcome the challenges posed by their environment. With every passing season, new dangers and opportunities arise. Spring's abundance brings both hope and peril. Predators lurk in the shadows, their presence a constant reminder that every moment of plenty is balanced by risk. Summer's relentless heat tests the limits of endurance. Animals seek shade, burrow underground, or become nocturnal to escape the sun's unforgiving glare. Autumn's forests are alive with activity. Creatures gorge on fallen fruit and seeds, building reserves for the lean months ahead. Winter's arrival is a crucible. Only the strongest, most resourceful, or best prepared can endure the biting cold and scarce food. Yet in every habitat, from the densest jungle to the most barren tundra, life persists in astonishing forms. Biodiversity flourishes where conditions allow, each species carving out a niche in the tapestry of existence. The resilience of the animal kingdom is revealed in every adaptation. Thick fur, water-storing bodies, or the ability to freeze and thaw with the seasons. Each encounter in the wild is a testament to nature's ingenuity, a moment of awe that deepens our understanding of the world's complexity. Even the harshest winter, with its frozen silence, is a vital chapter in the story of life. Dormant trees and vigilant predators alike await the return of warmth. Every season, every challenge contributes to the balance of thriving ecosystems. Predator and prey, plant and pollinator, all are linked in a web of interdependence. The turning of the seasons is the planet's heartbeat, a rhythm that shapes landscapes and lives alike, echoing through valleys, forests, and plains. Rivers swell and shrink, forests burst into color and fade, and every creature responds in kind, attuned to the subtle cues of light and temperature. The monarch's migration, the grizzly's feast, the silver ant's dash, and the penguin chick's first steps. Each is a chapter in the grand narrative of survival. This is a story of relentless adaptation, of breathtaking beauty, and of the intricate connections that bind all living things. Every scene in the wild is a portrait of resilience, a display of strategies honed by millennia of evolution. Across vast landscapes, species coexist, compete, and cooperate, each playing a role in the ongoing drama of life. The synchronized flight of birds, the coordinated hunts of predators, and the migrations of herds are all expressions of nature's unity and diversity. By observing this endless dance, we glimpse the extraordinary diversity and fragility of the natural world and the urgent need to protect it. Preserving wild habitats and the rhythms of the seasons is essential for the survival of countless species, each with its own story to tell. The future of life depends on the success of each new generation, as young animals explore, learn, and adapt to the world they inherit. As the sun rises on another season, the endless dance of life continues, unbroken, ever-changing, and forever wondrous.